Hello. The Daily Dig comes from the book of John, and we're starting in chapter 9. Now, just for some context of where we're at, Jesus had just healed the man born blind. And the Pharisees, the Jewish leaders, the Jews did not believe it of him, that he had been blind and had received sight. So that's the context. They're questioning this man. How did he do this sinner? So we come down to verse 25, and this is the man's response. The man who was once blind, but now sees. He then answered, "Whether he is a sinner, I do not know. One thing I do know, that though I was blind, now I see." Now this has not only physical fulfillment, it also has a spiritual fulfillment, which we will see. So they said to him, "What did he do to you? How did he open your eyes?" He answered them, "I told you already, and you did not listen. Why do you want to hear it again? You do not want to become his disciples too, do you?" Can you imagine the Pharisees' reaction? You're going to want to be his disciples too? It says they reviled him and said, "You are his disciple, but we are disciples of Moses. We know that God has spoken to Moses, but as for this man, we do not know where he is from." The man answered and said to them, "Well, here is an amazing thing, that you do not know where he is from, and yet he opened my eyes. We know that God does not hear sinners, but if anyone is God-fearing and does his will, he hears him. Since the beginning of time, it has never been heard that anyone opened the eyes of a person born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing." The Pharisees respond. They answered him, "You were born entirely in sin, and you were teaching us?" So they put him out. Now Jesus heard that they had put him out, and finding him, he said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" He answered, "Who is he, Lord, that I may believe in him?" When Jesus healed this blind man, he put clay on his eyes and told him to go wash. He never really got to see Jesus. Jesus said to him, "You have both seen him, and he is the one who was talking with you." And he said, "Lord, I believe," and he worshiped him. So this man who was not only in physical darkness, a blindness, he was in spiritual darkness. And we're going to read more about this in a moment. Out of this spiritual darkness, he saw the light. "Lord, I believe," and he worshiped him. And I circled worshiped because oftentimes we hear people questioning the deity of God, of Jesus, whether Jesus truly is God. He was worshiped. Only God deserves worship. Let no one question the deity of Jesus. Verse 39, and Jesus said, "For judgment I came into this world, so that those who do not see may see, and that those who see may become blind." So Jesus takes this physical healing of blindness, and he takes it and puts it in spiritual context. So those who do not see may see. So those would be those who know that they are in spiritual darkness, and they are reaching out for the light. So those who do not see may see. And then you have the counterpart to that, and that those who see may become blind. Those who believe they are in the light, yet they are not. There's a big difference between the two. Now Jesus made reference to the sin of unbelief and rejection of him as Messiah and Son of God. If they knew their lostness and darkness and cried out for spiritual light, they would no longer be guilty of the sin of unbelief in him, but satisfied that their darkness was light. That's the key. Those who see may become blind. These are those who think they are in the light, and yet they do not have Christ. So they are the ones who are blind in darkness. It's a spiritual context. So they're satisfied that their darkness was light, and continuing in rejection of Christ, their sin remained. And we read that. Those of the Pharisees who were with him heard these things and said to him, and I can almost sense sarcasm here, "We are not blind too, are we?" Because he's saying those who see may become blind. He was referring to those who believe they are in the light, but they're really not. Those may become blind. So at that point, they don't even recognize Christ. They've rejected him. Jesus said to them, "If you were blind, knowing that you're in spiritual darkness and reaching out for the light, you would have no sin. But since you say, 'We see,' we believe, those who believe they are in the light but are not. Since you say, 'We see,' your sin remains. We were in darkness." That darkness where we were lost. And in that darkness, we reached out for the light. Lord, I believe. And we have the same story. Though I was blind, now I see. What an amazing, amazing gift given to us. So that was the Daily Dig for today out of the book of John, chapter 9. So let me know what you guys think of this one, and leave me some comments. Do you have a story where you could say, "Though I was blind, now I see"? Let me know in the comments. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next The Daily Dig.